And welcome to another episode of Coffee with God. Yep, where we sit and we have coffee with God and indulge in the sacred being that we know God made probably around the second day of creation. We've already determined this. So, again, my name is Whittaker. And today we're going to be talking about waiting for God. Now, I'm sure that there's a lot of you who can relate to the times in your life where you've had to, those times when you've asked God for something, an answer, direction, something, and it just doesn't happen. You ask very nicely, God, you know that thing that I asked you about, the job, you know what's going to happen with that? I'd really like to be able to plan out the rest of my life. And you hear a bird. Not exactly helpful. I don't speak bird. This is a problem. Or those things where you're looking for a relationship and you have that big date. You're all gussied up and you're all set to go. And you're just looking your finest self. And things fall apart miserably, and you ask God, why? And you get nothing. These times are really challenging to us human beings and often will put us in nasty, nasty moods. Sometimes it's really hard to wait. Waiting on God is tough. Take, for example, my friend Gina, my friend behind the camera here.
Hi.
Gina just submitted an application for a class in the UK this summer. We had a little discussion about this before she sent this because she really, really wants this, but understands that, well, it's about her will versus God's will. I don't like that either. So I asked her the question. I said, so when you send this today, are you willing to release it and just let whatever's going to happen? And then she said to me, well, you know, this is my plans. This is for my schooling. And I said, well, maybe God's got something else in mind. And this is just a growing exercise. I almost didn't get a ride home. It's a very long walk from where we are. So I'm glad she's my sister and gave me a ride home regardless and didn't make me a hood bonnet or something like that. Hood bonnet is a car ornament, you know, like the Rolls Royce things. No, I didn't want to be doing that. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. I don't like these times. These times make me cranky. These times make me feel disconnected from God. These times make me feel like God really doesn't give a rat's ass about what's going on in my life. Especially when it comes around things about money. Very scary times. Because we all know it's like, you know, it's really tough when you have zero money in the bank and it's the middle of the month and you still have a lot of last month to pay. Where is God in this? Sometimes it's about the wait. The wait builds character. I know a lot of you would probably want to come and like smack my face about that, but it's true. Because in hindsight, I mean, my eyes are bad, but my butt has 20/20 vision. And I can tell you with great hindsight, and I can give testimony to this, that sometimes the toughest waits in my life have been the most important lessons in my life. And they've given me the most gems. I find that there's a diamond in every rough. And sometimes that diamond is made from your own pressure. And sometimes it's about finding that diamond. I don't always like that answer, but it seems to happen a lot. But, you know, we have GPS to show us how to get when we're driving, but GPS does not mean God's personal salvation road direction for us. Okay, it's just to get to where you need to go. But God does give it to you in different ways. And those are the things that if we stop looking at what we want and pay attention to the journey. This is what I was told, and it seems to be pretty true because I've tried it. There's a lot on that journey that's awesome. And if you're paying attention to the journey, you're not thinking so much about what you're going to get at the end of it. And that's where the salvation comes. And that salvation is immediate. That peace is immediate. That feeling of that angst and all that anxiety leaves. And sometimes it can show up as a friend coming over. Sometimes it can be something else that just takes your attention. The trick is to try to be open to it. So when we pray, when we have our morning Java with God, the important thing when we have those situations is to ask and then listen. But that answer may not come in the time that we want. So that listening means after we put this cup down and we start going about our business, that answer may come during the day or in the evening or whenever. Just be open to it. So that's our talk for today. I hope you enjoyed your coffee with God. I enjoyed talking with you this morning. Again, if you want to write, it's at coffee.wth.god@gmail.com. That's Godmail. No, it's Gmail, like Google Mail. And then we are also on Twitter at coffee_WTH_God. And we also have a blog going on too. And every day on the blog, we're going to have the daily roast, which is a daily affirmation, a prayer sort of thing if you want to use it that way. But it's there for you to use, and it's there for you to comment on. And again, enjoy your coffee with God. Have a good one.